He said that he wanted to find out. He wanted to know what can you do to expose our culture like steel pan and calypso and all those things over there.
Well, I am expecting Iowa George here at some time. When I say sometime, my wife, you're listening, good morning. Sometime when you choose to come and spend a holiday in the continent. And if he does, as I show you, we are for I am on a 2-acre place with a small conference hall, and the yard has activities where they do weddings and all kind of different function here. It's big enough to have that is in charge of that, and the ministry has a responsibility, just like how the Jamaican took reggae and they took reggae and they took dub, and they took that all over the world. That that's a governmental issue really, and and so we hope that we pressure that department to try to export our talent and our music and our culture, just like the other people.
All right. Well, that was his question. Is that if you could do anything like to promote the pan and promote the different aspects of our culture over there?
Well, it's not in my real passion. It's not, and really it's not my passion. The only thing is that if I could get like people who want to come across and want exposure in the continent, I will do everything in my power to make sure that happens here. You see? And but as for me, that's not, we have a division in ministry that deals with culture. And unless they want to make me the cultural ambassador, I didn't do that.
Okay.
That right now my real focus is to expose our nation to the fact that as African people, the lies and the myth that we have been told by those people from Europe make you feel that African people are just struggling in places everybody gets entertained, you're living under trees, and no, if the country was so bad, why this I have a friend in Ghana called me day before yesterday, and he said they are praying, his church is praying and fasting. You know what they pray and fasting for?
What is that?
That God will intervene and stop the influx of Chinese into Ghana. Chinese are flooding in Ghana by the thousands, tens of thousands, like they are doing for the Trinidad on a larger scale. If the country is bad, why it is you have all these whites and Chinese and Indians and all those different people coming from different places to Africa? If it's bad, it's underdeveloped. No, Africa is a real nice continent, and trust me, there are some places that are horrible, yes, but inside of the continent, it's really nice, and it has plenty business opportunities. So these people are flocking in the country, and they are stealing, getting the business opportunities, while we, the Africans, are sitting back home, believing the nasty of the media that making you feel the place is so bad, and while we are afraid to go there, everybody else is coming. You see?
Yeah.
Everybody else. And so if we could change the mindset of people and people begin to understand that African people are not, we are not backward people. We are not impoverished as people think in every sense of the word. We are not where we ought to be because of some of the stupid choices we make. and some of the thing that we are allowed. But the fact is that there are many progressive Africans. There are many Africans who are making it, and we will make it. It will happen.
We will become millionaires, you're saying?
Millionaires is not our aim.
Billionaires.
We have to be more than that.
Billionaires, you saying?
Millionaires, and and some of us should target being billionaires. Not just stupidness, but being a millionaire is not enough. You buy one car, you need regularly. So we need to, we need to put this in our children's head and mind. Sometimes when you hear our people who talking and they answering call telling you everything is money, money, money. Why do you think we all quarreling is money? We broke blanket, and so we need some economic freedom in our community. And to have and obtain economic freedom in our community, we have to understand value, the importance of money in any community. We have to understand the power of money. You know what the Bible says about poverty? The Bible says that the destruction of the poor is his own poverty. From the minute you're poor, people just hate you for just being poor. You know?
Yeah.
If your nose big like a lion and you have money, people don't see the size of your nose. You understand what I'm saying?
Not at all.
You could be talking like Mike Tyson. You want to be Tyson Tobago say, no, there's nothing wrong with his voice, we could fix it. But when the minute you have no money, you have all the faults in the world. So we have to begin to become strategic. We have to teach our children from the time they're going to school. You cannot be spendthrift. So when we give them money, we must reward them when they have the ability to save. We must encourage saving. Like all my children and the children in our church, once they start to do good in school, we give them checks, we give them money, we reward them with money. You know why we do that, Google?
Tell me.
To say that we are proud of your achievement, to try to encourage them to do better and better and better and better. And so just building a better society. We talk to our people about being spendthrift and just only taking your money and buying things from you like fly and bling, 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 bling.
Let's take this. Take this caller.
Yeah, well, I'm coming just enough time in there, but here what happens. You just talk about Ghana and the Chinese influx into Ghana. Now, what that activates in my mind? That activates that Africans or black people all about just really sitting down and letting things happen to him. And we have a problem because, as Dr. Anderson will say, he said the black man really can't rise up at all to no standard where the white supremacists have everything. Money, the gold, the diamond, the resources. He has everything. And from day one in slavery, he gave you nothing. You not getting reparation for no reason. Any reparation had to go to him. You must stand with nothing. Don't care how you rise, you must be subordinated. You must be. You must not rise. You have to be killed if we feel to kill you. We must have total governance over you, and you must have no governance even unto yourself. You African man. And that is what the world I'm seeing. You feel you have something because you had 2 houses and 2 big cars or something. You have nothing because the world is living off of you. And that is what we have to change that. What you say about Ghana and what I witnessing on the media and all from what coming out from Africa, we supposed to watch to go back to Africa and make up Africa because we no use in the Caribbean to the South. We used to the white man. But we not used to be here. We have nothing. They take everything from us long time, and we don't own nothing here. All the Hispaniolas and all of them they coming in the West Indies to develop West Indies, and they putting we out. Is that going to happen? Donald Trump know what he's doing. This immigration law is to get all the way out of it 40 years so that he could control what he thief from us as a people. We ain't actually realizing that we in a ditch and nobody throwing a rope to take we out. They pull out Obama after 8 years. They're glad to put a German inside of it to move you out. You know, it's black technique going and come on us in an economic world. Are you seeing that one? You ain't seeing how China breaks in? You ain't seeing how close you're getting to Russia. You ain't seeing how Brexit making decisions that changing the course from United Kingdom. All you ain't seeing what? But all you open all your mind and see that African is a slave and you will be a slave until you take yourself out of slavery. Wake up! Bundu, I am so you are. Wake up, African people, and take a stand in the world because you're going to continually be a slave. Thank you, Brother Divitai, until we see you in time and moment.
Bishop. Yes, Bishop Divitai. I have nothing to say.
I sat here with a guy, I'm meeting with him Sundays. They are completely, they are refurbishing this place here. Because this place is built and created for business and for tourism, for people who want to have activities and stuff. And so, as I said, a nice experience. Now, I was talking to him, and I said, do you know that African people are in the Bible? And you know what he said to me? He said, yes, and he's calling certain people's name in the Bible, and like Simon of Cyrene and all this stuff. And I said, do you know that Jesus was black? And he shook his head, started to blink his eyes. And after spending a few minutes with him, he said, you know, Fundis is pastor. You know, it's true. And I want to say this program started with black in the Bible, remember?
Yeah.
We started talking to show African people that the people who came and told us and said to us that the Bible was a white man's book, and that the white man took the Bible to fool black people and to enslave us and to make us, poor and all the different things. We had to debunk that and say to our people, that is not true, because what we discovered in the Bible is that black people, God started, creator of the heavens and the earth, started life with black people, with African people. And God is all wise. God is not a stupid God. And God started with black people. And historically, if the story of the Bible, Garden of Eden is true, then the Garden of Eden, where man and life started, was in Africa. And so, then the oldest human fossil that has been found anywhere in the world, it has been found in South Africa. You understand?
Yeah.
The oldest human bone has been found in South Africa. Another evidence, another fact that life started in Africa. The Garden of Eden was in Africa. And the first man was in Africa. He was an African. And then
You remember?
we go further. And yeah.
You remember there was a time. Remember there was a time that you were explaining all those stuff, and you said that that Jesus could be black like Dr. Rowley, and a lady called in and say if Jesus is black like Dr. Rowley, she's not a Christian again. She will backslide.
But actually, Jesus could have been darker than him too.
Yeah, but remember the lady who called and say if he black like Dr. Rowley, she will leave. She will not be a Christian again.
Yes, somebody said that.
A lady.
Be a black Jesus too. Yeah, and next one also said if they had seen a black Jesus, they would rebuke him because they would think it's the devil.
Yeah.
You know, but Google, what is painful as we talk about African people is that the pride that an African should have is a pride that came, that we were first made in the Bible at least. We occupy at the number one spot in terms of history. As a continent, we have the richest continent in the world. You have to put all the continents together to get a piece of Africa's worth of value. As I told you, 91% of all the world's diamond comes from Africa. 64% of all the world's gold comes from Africa. Gold capital of the world. Ghana has more gold than you could think. Ghana has more industrial diamond that we could use. You know, diamond to make cottons, bits and all these things, bits to cut, to drill and stuff. They have found oil in Central Africa, more oil than Saudi Arabia. So you have to understand that we have gold, diamond, bauxite, uranium, platinum, plutonium, all the things that they make their weapons of war with. Europe needs Africa. The world needs Africa. We have the richest soil in the world. You see, we could live off the gold in Africa and create our own power, our own electricity, our own heat. You know, we have it's a stinking rich country. It's a clean rich country. And then when we go to the biblical side of it, we should be proud because we saw from the Bible that Moses, the people that everybody talk about, and all those stories are written, and all those plays and movies, that Moses was schooled in Egypt. Moses grew up in Egypt. Moses was married to one woman, Zipporah, and he's the only person in the Bible, the Old Testament, that I could think about that had one wife. You understand? An Egyptian woman he married.
have a call on the line.
Yes.
Nah, the caller is gone.
The Bible don't call sin black. The Bible calls sin red.
You have a caller.
Anybody can look at it.
Yeah. Yeah. Live it. Hear what happening?
Yes.
Now, I want to shoot on a subject here. We, as African people, it is being touted that we don't know economics. We can't reach to that economical standard. But then why? But then, aside from, no, not you, you didn't say that. Aside from the economics that many of us want to say that Africans should go behind. Now, look, you now had a subject talking there, and I don't want to go there. But it all comes up to the mind of the African man is missing something. What is it that he missing? Hear what he missing. He have all the riches in the world. He don't need no riches in the world. He have all, but he don't know any other way of living in this world aside from under the white supremacy of what the white supremacy create for him to live under after thieving out the African man resources from under his foot or taking his birthright away. Now, take that and smoke that, because that is the fact of the African man. He cares not to develop to no great height because he don't have the permanence to go over the white man, and the white man already have every iota piece of material on the face of the earth, and we are just servants working for him in the world, and we don't see we going higher, so we don't really need to move from the same position that we are in. Think about it. Keep in mind, this is philosophical psychology in the minds of men, and the status that we are in look it good. Now, economics is good, but do we have the caliber to rise above the standard of the neutron bomb, of who going to Mars and going to the sun? Are we really wanting to do these things? Would we really climb? Is it not really truly satisfying that table that we are eating and drinking, as much povish it may look? But is it not really looking satisfiable to many Africans why we don't progress higher standards that we are in? You see, let's go deep to all who does talk about money, 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 money. You really believe African man so much on that great heights of money? He knows in his spirit he can't reach the heights of the white supremacy that creates the system. Watch me. Go deep in our minds and see the logic of truth and reality and face it. You don't want to face truth. That is why you have a problem. The problem we have economically, we will grow in time, but we don't have that truth of unity and organization between us as a community to move a black people out a higher standard, maybe even spiritually, which we will win the world with the thought of truth, spiritual consciousness. What are you thinking about? There's only money, money. Money is the greatest distraction between us. That is what causing us to be it so. You're running behind it and people pulling it away from you, and how you're grabbing all the time. All right, we did. All right. I could not time into, but I went through it. The word I'm talking to, you far,
Yeah, but no, Kenan, anytime you're bad talking money or saying that money. If money, what have you where we are?
Anyway, all you could talk about the money, I agreeing with you too. Agreeing too, because what I'm saying is that African people really need, really need to climb in mind, but we know the economics have to be.
The fact is that the white people, the Indians and the Chinese are coming to Africa. They're coming to Africa because they want to go to the moon. They're coming to Africa because it's the money we're looking for. And we have to understand that. You think the Chinese leave in China to come to Ghana because they like how Ghana is the money they're coming for?
Yeah, Bishop.
I'm watching that in the mirror here, I'm watching that slim man there. I wonder if that's me.
Nah, it's me.
Yeah, so we have to rise to the place where our vision of ourselves must be one that is grand and not one that is small. If you get small about yourself and small about your people.
You have a next caller.
Yeah.
Hello, morning. Hello. Hello. All right. Go ahead, Bishop. The call dropped.
Well, what happened is...
I didn't even get through.
Yes. Well, Pastor I want to say to Bishop Buga Manji, and the reason why I have spoken to him concerning the culture and so on, and the spectacles raised in this country that is observed throughout the world, is that sometimes you cannot take power, but you can own it. And you own power sometimes by seeing that what you achieve and that your ability is superb. You know, and it's the way that I really wanted to say that as sometimes, you know, you're struggling to show that your ability and to own the power by your gifts. And to own the power by your gifts is to highlight it. So this is why I'm really deeply concerned about our culture being spread here and giving people the joy that we have here at certain time among ourselves. Thank you again, that's a good word.
Yeah, Bishop.
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with the promotion of culture, as I said, but we have to be, you know, some of us have different visions, and if you take too many pathways, you wouldn't accomplish any one thing. Alright, so what I was saying is that there must be high expectation coming from our community. We must be proud of our community, even where we are.
You're a foreign caller.
Good morning, Google Bishop. I heard the conversation is about black in the Bible. I was wondering if the Bishop could do something, do a show or do a documentary on the Lemba people, the black Jews of South Africa, Zimbabwe. You know?
You heard that, Bishop?
Yeah, the Lembas and them, black Jews. Because I don't think, I've never seen any production done by any black people of them, you know. It's only like white guys who went down and do a little documentary and stuff, you know. But if you could do that, you know, it's going to be great, you know, because like they want to tell their story, but, you know, the white media is filtering it out and talking about they have DNA of the white Jews and all kind of stupidness, you know. So if you can get their story from a black man's perspective, it'll be great, you know. And that's about all I got to say tonight. You'll have a good... Yes. I'm listening.
In the Bible was only black Jews, eh? Now, after the 7th century, you have all kind of Jews. The Bible, the whole of Israel, Israel, when he died, he was mistaken for an Egyptian by the Canaanites who were black, who were they were the descendants from Ham's last son. He said they called the place in Genesis chapter 15, verse 8, I think, Abel Mizraim, which it means a meadow of mourning for the Egyptian. So the Jews in the Bible, they were black. They were African people, and the people who came from the Caucasus Mountain, the eastern part of Russia, came across, and the story, the story has changed now, and Israel is suddenly a bunch of people who are of lighter skin and softer texture here.
Well, I don't know if you ever saw any of the videos on YouTube about the Lambas, and they say that they were the ones responsible for building the Great Walls of Zimbabwe and so on, So, just throwing that out at you. Maybe if you had the time, you could do it and link up with them, and get a good documentary from a black man's perspective. All right? Y'all have a good morning.
I have walked to South Africa with professional cameras. All I need is skilled people to the cameras. So we have professional cameras to do TV, to do anything.
All right, Bishop. Yeah.
Yes. Our pride, we should pride ourselves in knowing these things. Again, we should understand that no part of the devil is black. The devil is called the red dragon. You don't call black people red. You understand? So, the last time I said another frequency, a man said, they should put a bullet in my head. He belongs to another group, right? I said, we are not black, we are not red, we are black. And so the devil is called black, sin is called black, not us. Sin is called red. The devil is called red, sin is called red, never black. And so we have to understand that we're black, we're beautiful, we must say that loud, we must be proud. And we must be proud of what the fact of who we are. The thing is, what the other groups have successfully done is to make us see our differences and think that that nice is to be measured by their standard, how they look and how their hair might be, how their lips and how their eyes and the hair, the color of their skin and stuff. That to be nice, you have to be like that. But we have to understand that we are different. We are totally different, and because we are different, we should not seek to be like anybody else but ourselves, and we must love ourselves the way we are. And we are not saying that, I would never say that Africans are better than white. I would never say that Africans are better than Indians. Africans are better than Chinese. No. I am saying that we are all equal in the eyes of God. We are all different, and we must enjoy our differences. So the white must enjoy their whiteness, the Indian their Indianness, the Chinese their Chineseness. But no one should then come to us and talk about your big lips, your big nose. That's us. Some of us, that's why we can smell good. Some of us have straighter bridges and straighter noses. There are different kinds of African too. There are those of the lighter skin, there are those of the darker skin, there are those of the tighter, not in the hair, there are those of the softer hair, there are those who look like rollers, there are those who are very, very light skin and they have like black pepper. There are all kinds of African. So you have to understand that even the African people who are not mixed with this, with different races, there are different kinds of African people. And we have to be careful with how we stereotype Africa, okay? But we are considered the black continent, and because predominantly the majority may have darker skin. But I want you to understand, you have to become proud of yourself. You don't let people fool you and make you feel that the Bible owned African fools and cause white supremacy and superiority, whereas the Bible does not teach that. The man who wrote the 2/3 of the New Testament, Paul in Acts chapter 20, So they ask him, are you that Egyptian? You know, watch a white man and ask him if he's an Egyptian. The Egyptian was like how you have today. The Egyptian, if you look at Seti and Ramsey, and you study the dynasties of Egypt, and or you go into the pyramid, you don't see white people. You see black people. All historically, they were very dark people. Fuzzy hair, thick lip, burned skin. That's what the Egyptians were. And so they looked at Paul and said, are you that Egyptian? The man who wrote the New Testament, the God made covenant with for the old covenant Moses, when 7 African girls were drawing water at the well, and he helped them and chased out the men who were harassing them, and they reached home early, and their African father asked them, Jethro, how you came home so early? They say, an Egyptian man helped us. So Moses was like an Egyptian. The guy who was viceroy in Egypt, Joseph, when Israel was the small brother, the second to last, when he was in Egypt and sold it, went into slavery, and he was in Egypt, and he became viceroy, second in charge. When his brothers came there, he married an African, and his brothers came in there. The brothers mistook him for an Egyptian. So you don't mistake a Chinese for an African. Who will give a Chinese with a big African gum and put a feather in his head and all kind of stuff and stand it up with Fukamanji? Would you take this Chinese for an African?
No.
Would you take a white man dressed like an African for an African?
No.
What would cause your brothers to take you for an African who is black and had hair? Then you have to be looking like him?
Yeah.
That's common sense. But the detractors, the people who want you to feel that the Bible is enslaving, like to tell you those stupidness and make you walk away from your rich history, and make you walk away from something that every nation of the world has. Nation of Jesus was a black man.
Yeah.
Instead of being proud, you're somebody trying to make us feel bad and telling you, oh, I'll tell you about the lies in the Bible. Tell me about the lies in other things. Huh? It is there I discover who I am. It's there I discover how powerful we are as a people. God is all wise. And if God is all wise and the first man he makes is black, then you can't tell me that black is stupid. Black is part of the wisdom of God. You must have a good place to say amen.
Hold on, have a caller.
Yes, Bishop, I'm listening to you. You see, Bishop, you heard our last song, the road marches, they want to be jamming still. So I love your spirit because you know why you're jamming still. I love your spirit, Bishop, because see what I want, as one caller said, that richness, we have it all built in us. We're jamming still, man. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what the man said. The man said jamming still. Yeah.
God loves us so much that God built us and put us on the richest continent on the earth, you know.
Yeah.
The richest continent on the earth. Africa. Oh, Africa. Oh my goodness. You know, so you might be looking at somebody said you look a lot smaller, your belly is going low. Yeah. I responded while I'm talking to you.
Who's saying that?
Somebody who saw the video.
Okay.
Yeah, you know. If we had had plenty people on, we would have shown a little piece of the video again.
Yeah.
We'll have a chance to look and see.
All right, we have some callers. Hello, morning.
Good morning, Google.
Good morning, ma'am.
Bishop, do you realize that we have the hair of the sheep?
You heard that?
Woolen hair of the sheep. And that sheep was what Christ held in his arms, and he said, "You are the lamb. You are it's the only animal that Christ, they could show you a picture of Christ holding. The sheep." I had a man tell me when I was a 9-year-old child, "Look at your hair. Dog has straight hair. Cow has straight hair. Horse has straight hair. But look at the hair that you have." And I told him, we have the hair of the sheep. That is the animal that God kept close to him. We should never be ashamed of our hair. Never. Because the wool in our hair is like the hair of the sheep. What do you say to that, Bishop?
Well, the trousers that I wear, I only wear pure wool. 155 thread wool. That's my dress, pants and suit. That's just expensive clothing.
Yes. We have the hair of the sheep. When in America, the animal there, the bison with that ruffled, that hair, when they call them when Bob Marley said that we were the soldiers because of the hair that we have. We had a young lady this year that went up on the stage in for the March Gras. She looking for the man who penned the phrase "black and ugly," and when she look at herself, she can't see black and ugly. She see beauty, and we must stop worrying. We have to stop worrying of how we look. We are a people apart, a separate, blessed people, and hold that close to our chest. Hold it. Don't go away from it, because we are who we are. We must want to be who we are and not be like anybody else. So that is what I had to say about our hair and how close we are to God. And that is why they will never be able to get rid of us. Never. They will kill a few, as the words of Stalin. The more they kill, the more they will see coming still. Good morning, Google.
Good morning. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, Fuzzy here. The Mr. Job who came on the last time, he gonna be coming again. The man who talking about the herbs and so forth. Really, because I noticed I ain't seen for a while. All right, okay, because well, Google doing a fine work, you know. He professional. He doing a fine work, and I got talk on him. He make a fine work. Right, so, but I know you had to talk about the medicine and so forth, so I'm keeping my program in order as long as you've had program is on. I think I intended that to help it to keep going until you reach back